is at the moment the most consistent player on T1. And I think if he says, guys, I think it's a good Jin angle here, it's up to the rest of his team and the coaching will say, no, no, Guma, I know you like the fourth shot, I know you like the crit animations, I know it feels smooth,
I think
but
it's good
we need you. You're getting Xayah, you're getting Jinx, I don't care, you're doing damage.
No, do you know what they're doing? They're getting out of their system those things that have been a problem in, you know, Game 5s of international finals and things like that, you know?
What's next? They're gonna, like, give Kingen an Aatrox angle?
That's the plan. That is the plan. See whether they can play through it, and if they don't, it's fine. It's game one of the summer, match one of the summer season. You can recover. Blitzcrank and Vi already taken away. Of course, the Vi ban, something that we've seen on blue side many, many times, is Maokai and Nico off the board here on the Humble Life Esports side. So, Melio, Yuumi, Zeri, so many things still up and available. The Lucian going all the way through the draft last time around was definitely a curious one. Neither of these squads wanting to take that. Of course, Humble Life Esports haven't enjoyed it quite as much as T1 have, as Lulu to be the ban.
Okay, well, so T1 is like ban Melio or else.
Yeah.
Like that's what's happening here.
And then we'll pick Yuumi.
Oh, they might. Or, I mean, if Zeri doesn't get banned, they might just first pick Zeri, which I am a lot more on board with.
I think you have to not ban Melio or Yuumi.
Yeah. So you pick Zeri, but you can't, right?
No,
so you got a Melio. And then it's Zeri Yuumi on the opposing end.
And then it's Draven Melio, and we see which one's more
I actually think it might be Lucian Melio.
Ooh, that'd be fun. I like that. You give him a warm hug and he does more damage.
I feel like, Lucian Melio is a very impressive lane, and I think we saw, and I think we will again, if we get to late game and you have Viper, even with, I think, the jungle and support on the team still not having always the best of performances, the man can make mountains move, and he's also on what I assume will be Zeri Yuumi, which is a completely bonkers combo, as we have seen many times. I mean, and you don't need to pick it up here, obviously. You can go for a deferred rotation. Get the Gragas instead here. Flex pick for Zeka and Kingen. Zeka having both an amazing game and a rough one on it, but no, it's going to be the Aphelios instead, so still prioritizing that. And we haven't talked about it yet, but that is a Cassante that makes it through the draft.
Yeah, that's dangerous, of course. Could be in the hands of Faker or Zeus. The final pick on the Yuumi is no surprise whatsoever. And honestly, this is looking pretty overpowered as far as drafts on both sides. I don't necessarily think I can pick out a clear winner outside of the fact that I witnessed what Dudu did on Cassante yesterday. And that is stuck in my mind just a little bit. The guy just pretty much soloed an entire team.
Yeah, but then I think back to what happened when we saw the Vital Zeri getting 2 kills, and then...
Oh, and the game was over?
Sorry, it was 3 kills.
Yes.
And then he killed everyone while being on 3.6k HP.
Yeah.
Not going to get taken away here, which is a signal that this is going to be a top lane Gragas. He does struggle in that matchup. As we have seen, Zeus obviously also a great Gnar player. T1 fans, I'm sure, rejoicing at the fact that Gumayusi has a champion that does, in fact, do damage.
The shackles are off. He's out of the hyperbolic time chamber now, ready to do the damage. Maybe, like, you know, the what is it, the Dragon Ball Z armor, like the clothes, they take it off and it falls on the ground.
The weighted.
Yeah,
it's Rock Lee from Naruto has that as well. Where he does a drop and like they fall down. Everyone's like, what is he doing? He's flexing and it's like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what he's done, because now he has
a champion.
Oh, yeah. A lot of damage. Capabilities. Rock. No, not allowed rock. Ooh, do we have paper? No, we don't. Because we could ban Gwen and then it's, at least you got scissors.
You have Papercraft and Ivia.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah.
We just needed to ban an Ivia.
Well, that's not happening.
Bit of a fail. T1 have an opportunity to, but I don't think they will. I'm going to be looking at something else. We'll see what they do decide to take away. I think junglers could be an option, worth a bit of a look. Maybe Viego, because Clid has been good on the champion in the past.
Yeah, it's kind of tough because there's still so many. Like, Wukong is another one that comes to mind, but you can also give the... Okay, so that might mean it's Volibear, because I assume Humble Life will just lock in Viego here.
Oh, Cat Bear. Oh, you're right.
Well, I think Humble will lock Viego, because I think Viego is the stronger of the two. And then T1 is probably gonna go for the Volibear, but the Kindred is also a possibility. You already have Frontline, and Kindred obviously into Viego can negate a lot of what makes a champion strong. You are picking into the Gragas though, so I do think that is something that really devalues the pick. Jace is still available as well, which obviously a lot of people on T1 like, and instead, ooh, what's it gonna be for Oner?
I wouldn't mind the Kazakhs given the tanky nature of the Cassante, as no surprises. Cassante going into the hands of Faker in that mid lane. We know just how well he plays this champion. And it is once again the Jax for Zeus, who was so good in the last game despite the result. So, the answer, Poppy.
Oh
no, it's God. The no button. It's the you are not allowed to play Jax, as it turns out. No, you gotta sell skins.
Did I will it into existence?
No.
Poppy is so good.
Poppy is actually so broken here. Okay, Sion is going to be the lock-in. Kingen just really liked the amount of health that he got. And, you know, survived in the matchup quite nicely. So that is going to be it. And honestly, the game isn't about him. So really, they just needed a beefy frontline. Yes, Poppy's pretty tanky, but no one is as tanky as Sion. Outside of the fact that he's now into an affiliate.
Well, that's a pretty big fact.
Yeah.
And I think the Poppy, particularly into champions like Sedge, Jax, and Cassante, really make it a lot harder for T1 to play proactively. They're still going to be able to play around Guma, and I expect him to go Stormrazor and just run at people with Emilio on his back. But
I've got a suggestion.
Yeah.
How about, because T1 have now gone total AD once again,
yeah.
What if Zeka goes tank as well and just builds all armor?
Well, but then I guess they have Zeri, so they're not really full AD.
Yeah. Because, you know, Zeri Yuumi is basically mixed damage.
Yeah, but if you build damage and you hit one cask on the Phalios, he doesn't really get to play the game.
True. That is true. So maybe that's better.
We'll see. He might end up going tank.
The idea of more Sunfire capes kind of...
That's what? Sunfire and Abyssal?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's just absurd. This is dangerous. It's a gamble being taken on both sides of the rift. And we'll see who is going to be able to come out on top. As T1, this time, the Aphelios in the hands of Gumayusi, one of his favorite champions. He's being very outspoken about it. See how he goes. We hop into the rift for Game 2. Wow, Hanwha fans actually extraordinarily loud today. I think maybe we are on the Hanwha side of LoL Park here today, and so we can hear them a little bit more acutely. But certainly a full house here at LoL Park, which is absolutely fantastic to see. And it's going late, Chronicler, because our first series was quite a long one, as Zeus going to face check a million people and is going to die. This is, well, not quite yet. They want to give the kill to Viper, and yeah, he will get it. There we go. Should we call Wolf, ask him about the certifications? Are you allowed to give a certification at 1 minute?
No, I think there needs to be a multi-kill at least.
All right. So
but I do think that we should get him.
I've got him on speed.
We need him on speed out because the odds of a Zeri moment happening have just skyrocketed.
Yes.
So,
but
as I was saying...
Is it even a moment if we've already had the moment?
Well, I mean, I like I said, I don't think this is a moment yet.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he can let us know if he thinks differently.
I hold Viper in a very high regard. And despite the fact that I think Aphelios and Milio are obviously an insanely strong combination, for T1, reliably getting on top of Viper is going to be extremely tough. And like once he hits his item breakpoint, I think he just doesn't care anymore. Like he doesn't care about Jax, doesn't care about Cassante, as we are going to get a replay of this. And
yeah, Viper's perspective. What does he say? Nice.
It was nice.
It was. It's pretty nice. There we go. Well, Zeker is down quite low on health, but remember, this is Gragas. He takes a drink and is K in most scenarios. As you were talking about item breakpoints, Viper has hit the longsword breakpoint very early.
Yeah, that's and we jest, but I do. Oh, Oner going in here.
Yeah, cleared. Going to be wise to it, at least for the moment, and some control in the mid lane for Faker, meaning that Oner will be able to win out on this little scuffle, most likely. Klid does have knowledge, but still not going to be able to get that smite. And Oner will be able to steal it away. Nice work putting pressure down on this Sejuani so far as Kingin just dealing with this full wave of minions. And that means that Klid's going to be in trouble. Zeker and Faker fighting it out. Faker seeing what he can do here as there is the bot. Does he have another barrel? A few more autos are going to be necessary as in comes Oner, and I think Faker may have baited it out. He finds the Q, and that is a very dead Gragas. First blood goes to Oner. Sorry, second blood. Sorry, it was the 1 minute kill actually really got to me. But basically first blood in a real game, right?
And big moment there. 41 getting both the invade on top side. Immediately Zeus keeping track, knowing where Klid is, which means that Faker and Oner can go for the play. Zeka also was aware that Oner was on the top half of the map. So getting overly ambitious there, getting promptly punished. And that means that for now, T1 able to actually take some control in the early game. It's the part that I think we were the most impressed by in the entirety of Spring. This team, when getting early leads, would be extremely proactive. Yes, in the previous game they were able to hang on, but both, I think, due to some drafting as well as in-game decisions, unable to actually push it over the finish line.
It was just a weird game. It was
not a good game in some ways, but it was definitely a ride.
It was.
It was a good ride.
Some things happened. They really
events transpired,
yeah.
and
they really happened.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do. I was there with you. But I don't know if everyone else listening knows.
I think they do, because they were there too. So I think you guys know. It's just severity of the amount of happenings that occurred.
Severity.
It's a severity
of the amount of happenings.
Yeah. How to say absolutely nothing while saying a lot. It's an art form. Okay, here we are. We're going to check this one out once again. And Faker, honestly, just baiting Zeka into this one.
And it looks a little dicey there, right, as he is tanking the minion wave, but the burst not going to be enough, and Zeka, even without taking the turret shot, would have pretty much guaranteed been dead here. There was plenty of collapse opportunity.
Even the dash positioning there from Faker to maximize the likelihood that he was going to hit the Q.
Yeah.
Really nicely played. But Zeka overextending a little bit on this Gragas, and we've had, you know, there's been mixed reviews of Zeka's Gragas. He did have one good game in the previous series that Harma Life Esports played earlier this week.
It really does feel like the story of Zeka in 2023 is, which Zeka do you get?
Yeah.
Because
I mean, that last Ari game was pretty good.
Yeah, that was an amazing game. And then in this game, he is falling behind very early on, opened himself into a gang where, again, Oner's positioning could reasonably be inferred off of the fact that he invaded Klid and is still, as we speak, invading, although, oh.
Yeah, dangerous scenario is Kingin. He's charging the Q that is definitely not going to hit Oner. But that was what he had to offer. He's going to have to accept it. Zeka just taking a bit more of a drink here in this mid lane. And Klid is going to tell Oner to leave, but still doing a great job. Here's the T1 jungler. It's cast to push Faker underneath the turret, but once again, it's all a bait. Every time this seems to happen, it is when Oner is right there.
And I think this game is going to give us an answer to a very, very contentious and important question.
What's that?
K'Sante or Zerayumi?
Ooh, but there's Melia. I mean, there are a lot of factors here.
But I really want to hone in on those.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Well,
and by the end of this game, we will know. Definitively.
We will. So far, Gumayusi has just been huddled around a cozy campfire having a great time. And it's been difficult for Viper and Life in this laning phase. Of course, Yuumi X is not necessarily a laning duo, regardless. We have seen them do a little bit better than this as T1 on this Drake. They are going to be able to secure it as the fight is going to break out. Kingin is down here towards his bottom side at 7 minutes. In the meantime, Klid is already dead and the Scion has just left. And now Viper and Life are in trouble. Viper trying to stay alive, and he will be able to flash away. The You and Me is going to get Life out of there as well, but they have no summoner spells, and Zeus was top lane the whole time.
Oh boy, it's a 6-game angle, Atlas. That's what we're looking at here, because Hanwha Life, everything goes wrong. They lose the skirmish in the river. Viper and Life started the fight thinking that Kingen is gonna aid them. That does not end up being the case. He tries to salvage the play, but only gets Faker's flash. And meanwhile, Jax has been going unbothered, untethered, in his lane, in his elements, and flourishing by himself.
An unbothered Jax is a terrifying thing to deal with, especially when it's being piloted by Zeus. We saw how good he was in the last game, and I don't think that is going to change with a few minutes in between games. Cleared up here towards his top side. Just going to be clearing out his own jungle if he is allowed to, as we're going to check out this replay once again. Oh, and really nicely done.
Yeah, we are throwing some damage down into K'Sante, who could not care less. And Kingen coming in here is understandable, otherwise Zeka definitely dies. But the problem is that, meanwhile, while that is happening, because of him making that decision, his bot lane ends up getting chunked out, having to use the flash, having to use a bunch of summoners, which opens up for a lot more playmaking from T1. And with the turrets the way that they are, Oner basically can drop it anywhere and probably get a first turret blood, and it is a across-the-board gold lead here.
Well, Faker is looking for Viper here. 1 versus 2 in theory, as Viper is going to press the ult button. Not sure about this, as Faker's going to get slowed down. Fair bit of damage is soaked by the mid laner of T1, and he is just unfettered, unbothered.
I was worried you're going to say damage is being done. Like, that's not sarcastic enough, Atlas.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right, we're going to kick a ball, and Viper is going to just skate away.
I think that, you know, at least for the first 10, 20 minutes of the game, that's our answer right there.
Yeah.
It's K'Sante.
Yeah. Yeah, I think K'Sante might be a bit of the problem.
And with how the game is going, I don't know if we're ever getting to the Zeri Yuumi part of the story. Maybe it's not their game.
True.
Maybe it's not about them.
Well, right now, not a lot of items on the Zeri. You generally need a few before you're really an issue. As Keria puts down the campfire, and they're going to look for some extra plates here. Should be able to get them, as Faker once again scuffling with Zeka, and of course Oner in possession. Faker doesn't need him. That's a solo kill, and that is all too easy. From the POG from game number 1, and Faker is just toying with him now.
That is, I like the. Yeah. You get the Sejuani with 2 melees, and then Oner is barely necessary, man. He's like,
it's so good, he's not even needed.
So, this is a perfect. Oh, teleport behind them.
All right, let's see what they can actually do here as the Prowling Projectile will connect. The answering teleport is going to come forward. They're looking for Keria first, but Zeus will turn up, and now Zeka could be in an awkward position. He's going to have to flash, and he does so. Gets the Yuumi to help him out there, as Kingen was trying to get in position for a train and decides that this one's out of service. He's just going to lumber away.
Yeah, what we're seeing here is the coming together of a Game 2 Hanwha, which have generally not been great, and a Game 2 T1, who after a, lackluster first game, come back and say, no, we want to do over.
Yeah.
And we want to do it well. In this game, they're doing it well, as it is just a straight-up solo kill. Here, Faker gets positioning, able to drag him back, then hits the all-out. And because there's no flash, like Zeka has 2 options, either path up top, and Faker obviously gets the W on the ultimate, and you die, or you try to path up and then Oner catches you, so...
I mean, if that was Gragas from 6 years ago, you wouldn't be able to W that. But now the wind-up time, it takes him 11 years to get the barrel out from his back pocket.
I think it's okay that old Gragas barrel is no longer with us.
I think so too.
I'm not too bothered by it.
No. It's all right. Let's see. Viper is now the last hope for Hanwha Life Esports. There is nothing else, and he's going to have to do it against about as many odds as you can possibly get. As Oner is just stealing all of their stuff. And Gumayusi Keria will be getting this turret very, very soon. Still, Viper does at least have some farm. There is that. But that is the beginning of the end. The good news, and Stormrazor being finished first is another thing that
Are we going crit Zeri?
Yeah, we saw that in Challenger.
So I do have a lot more faith in Viper to pull that off, but might also be
maybe it's just Stormrazor Trinity Force.
Could be. What I'm mostly wondering is, like, is this a call that he made because he feels like you're very far behind and the immediate power spike of Stormrazor is a lot higher? Could be that as well.
Yep.
Could be him just going Stormrazor or Triforce rather next. But I feel like the value does really diminish.
Zeri gank, he's gonna dive forward. There's the final chapter. Zeus should be going down here, and they are gonna be able to get him. So already, I mean, look at that Stormrazor value. Extraordinary. Built it, completed it. Chronicler's looking at me quizzically.
I don't think quizzically
immediately got a kill.
You know, if Viper can keep picking up kills like this, it's only a 400 gold lead for Gumayusi. That is surmountable.
I like how you say,
but it
only
is.
A 400. Yeah, that's true.
Fine.
You're ignoring the bajillion gold lead for everyone else.
Well, yeah, if T1 keeps running in one by one, and Viper keeps picking up kills, game's winnable, Atlas.
True. True. Anything's win. Anything could happen. We had the weirdest and most wonderful game in game number 1. It just shows that, honestly, if you believe enough, anything is possible. Zeka will pick up this minion wave, try and deny that one from going down. So far, 2 turrets been taken here for T1. Life Esports not yet on the board as far as that is concerned. 5,000 gold is the collective lead.
Yeah, and as expected, it will not end up being the Triforce Zeri. And I do think that build is somewhat locked in, right? You really need to go for the specific combination of items. Does make a ton of sense. Life also rushed Ardent, so this truly is. There is one, well, you know, I guess Life also counts. But it really is a one-man army of Viper with a mission.
Yes, and he is not the, like, tank bruiser Zeri that we saw building Sterix Gauge yesterday.
Yeah.
It was absolutely terrifying. It is far more of the glass cannon. Viper's positioning is going to be so key. And he relies on the rest of his team to be able to actually soak so much of this. Everfrost almost to be completed here by Zeka. We have the best item in the game for Kingen already complete. But man, they are so far behind the curve as T1 will just grab themselves Shirley. She will help them knock down even more of these turrets. And Life Esports just need to put like a pause.
He's dead.
T1. As, yeah, Zeus might be dead yet again. He does ult. As Kingen not going to be able to tank him forever. As he gets the big ult knock up. There's the Heartbreaker. Zeus is doing a bunch of work for a really long time. Can he get it? No, he can't. Not quite. But man, that was closer than it needed to be.
And even though he doesn't end up getting the kill, this actually buys them a ton of time and should get them a second charge here. And I think also just the inner. So that's a very gold positive trade. Did Zeus have to die? No, probably not.
Is that inner turret top, inner turret mid for Zeus and outer?
Well, yeah.
Well, I think the Zeri might be dead. He's going to survive for a bit longer, but nope, that's a cat dead as well. As now Zeka, he walked a little too close and he's going to have to flash. Get himself out of the way. Congratulations on the outer turret. I don't think Life Esports really liked the trade.
Reports are back. It was, in fact, not worth on the extended play.
Ah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm really glad someone did that calculation. I wasn't prepared.
Well, no, you know, it's easy to get caught up in everything happening on the screen.
Yeah, true. Huh.
Yeah.
All right, let's have a look at it again. As this was Zeus being caught out and almost managing to turn it into a 1v2 victory. Yeah,
crucial here is Zeus opts not to flash, as we do get the Q from Kingen. I think could have maybe gotten away, but I think he might just not have wanted to use his flash. And also, as mentioned, I do truly believe that the call is also like, if they're two-manning me here, plays fine, as Faker is making sure that the PH, you know, is already kind of locked in, but he just wants to really hammer it in.
That'll lock it in. Or just like, oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Cassante gets the job done.
So, next time around, we're gonna, I like the experiment, you know? Like, this is the first game back. Like, maybe Faker is out of practice. Maybe he's been focusing on other champions. I mean, it's a silly thing to think. However, you know, maybe until it's reality. But now, never let him play that champion again. He's too good. It was the first ban in game number 1. And I think that one of the bans
and
could have
surely
been sacrificed.
Between the exhibition put on by Dudu yesterday and now Faker, we can collectively learn that what our pro players are able to, and not just our, but like what pro players are able to do with this champion, it's too much. Oh, you can't outplay it, you can't outsmart it. Just ban it. Yeah. Just take the hit.
I mean, it's exactly what you said. You can outplay it. You can
by banning it.
By not letting it into your game. And that is a power that you do have. It's a lot of agency. As Gumayusi clears out the minion wave, there is a red buff to be taken. They're going to go for a bit of a reset first before they collect that one. And then 4.5 minutes on the Cloud Soul availability for T1. Baron going to be up in a minute's time as well. And this is a T1 game. Obviously, we're going to be looking towards the Baron as soon as it is going to be available. And I want to, like, you know these moments when you're in a game like this and there's a team that is definitely struggling at the hands of their opponents? It's times like this where we want to find the angles to talk about the miracle comebacks and all that sort of stuff. I don't think they exist, as Kingin is going to have to flash. Nice little drift as he avoids the wall, and he will be able to survive. Has to press a lot of long cooldowns in order to get there, though. As Viper dashes away immediately. Like, Gumayusi right-clicks on him, and he's like, nope, 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 nope. Get me out of here. As Clid underneath his inner, they're going to get the teleport from Zeka. And the Scion is moving on over as well. We'll see whether they can actually get anything here as Faker just dashes to the side. Not even 50% of his health bar has gone just yet. Phalanx attempting to be installed here.
Jack shows stone play.
Yeah, yeah.
He's not going to die?
Nope.
Nemo on side, we do have Zeus attempting to shove, but do note, without Baron, actually getting this is a little bit tough. It is up. It's 20 minutes.
Well, Faker once again. There is the Glacial Prison. Zeka managing to body slam beforehand, but still, they're just going to buy enough space, get themselves the inner, and that is all you need to do.
I think it's time. I think we go Baron.
Oh, is it flipping time?
Well, no, they are
just collect
almost
time.
Yeah, they are almost 8k gold up. There is you start it and then Homalife either responds and you engage and win, or they don't, and then you know you
get Baron.
You get Baron.
Yeah, it's true. Well, it's been alive for 45 seconds on average. I feel like that is one of the longer amounts of time that Baron has survived in a T1 game. If you include all of the games this year. They've been very adamant about taking it as soon as possible. 7,000 gold is the approximate lead, and so a game like this would certainly be one where you'd recommend going for it ASAP, just to continue snowballing this lead. Vision to be cleared out first, though, as Zeus moves over, and Kingin, yeah, this time he does have the train, so he can drift away, and is just going to crash into this brush for a moment. Gives him a thumbs up, and he's going to be A-okay. So, T1 just continue tidying up minion waves, collecting more money, and trying to block Homalife Esports from collecting their own jungle. This is the kind of suffocation that this team has been very good at. But I'd like to see them go for a Baron, just because I feel like there's not a lot of response available here for Homalife Esports. Gumayusi, Campfire, up and ready.
As long as you don't flip it, you'll be completely fine, right? We joke a lot, but all you need to ensure is Oner.
All right. I think he's insured.
He's fine.
Arctic Assault going to help him out there.
Ooh, look at Viper.
Okay. Does have the Runons. Still wants Navari Quick Blades as soon as he possibly can find them. And, oh, Cliff manages to get the chickens. There are some positives coming through. But this is Baron time. They get a bunch of trinkets out. from Life as Zeus on a gorgeous flank. Look at this. They dive on top of Klid. He's going to flash. Heartbreaker is going to get him out of there. As there's the ult from Viper. He's doing a fair bit of damage, and now Faker, who is dealing with Zeker and Kingen, is going to back away as well, but they're just going to wait it out. They'll wait it out. They'll go towards the Baron yet again, and then there won't be any electrocution to worry about.
Crucial there is that now the ultimate from Viper is down. Same for the summoners from Live. T1 still taking a risk here.
They certainly are. Zeker moving forward. There's the cask. It is the secure for Oner. And all 5 members alive here for T1. Pretty clean on the tape.
Crucially, no Klid. He was completely chunked, so T1 see the opportunity. That, though, is a reminder that if you botch and engage and Viper goes unmatched, you're in deep trouble as teleport coming in.
Yep, Kingen was walking down and then he's decided, no, I would prefer not to do that. He's very close to having his flashback available as Life Esports are going to get the cavalry together, teleport in from Zeker, and T1 are going to say, oh, that'll do. They'll grab themselves a Cloud Soul, best soul in the game, no bias, and set up for, you know, potentially in 5 minutes' time, Exodia's on the board. Stacked deck.
I do gotta say though, I would love for T1 to actually go and make sure that they end the game on this. Even if they don't, the position that they're in currently, right, like an almost 10 gold lead, 9k at the moment. They have a Fed Aphelios, they have an amazing front line. But I'd still be a little bit worried if Quick Blades does get finished, right? You just don't want to take the risk, so use your Baron to shove out, maximally get those inhibs down, and really lock online their base. Opportunity for T1 here to bring us to a 6th game of the day.
It is still Zeri as Klid is trying to be sneaky around here. Oner not really too worried about the damage though, as Faker will get knocked up momentarily. A little bit of a stun, but they're just so tanky. Glacial Prison is going to connect there, as going golden is Zeker. He hasn't had the greatest of times. He will be taken down. That is a kill for Gumayusi. Can he get more? Inhibitor going to be the next thing on the menu, is now Faker dashing forward, just testing Viper. And they'll take a second inhib as well. The turret just like paper as Faker was dashing forward. Does have a cozy campfire to go back to here, as Keria keeping everyone happy and healthy. And Gumayusi will find the snare. There's the cleanse onto Viper, but he just dies, just explodes. It's so much damage from this Aphelios. It's a double kill. Now Kingen will be on the fountain, keeping his cat safe, but not his Nexus. And T1 will bring us to a Game 3 in incredibly decisive fashion.
Game number 1 was a back and forth, a